So the first question is about Todd McShay. He says the Niners are going to trade up from 12 to 9, which is not that far, to get Mac Jones, who a lot of people have starting to realize is a pretty seamless fit in the Niners offense. McShay says the Niners would trade like their second round pick and number 12 and 43, or 12 and a number 1 pick next year to move up and get their guy. Are you buying or selling this trade up for Mac Jones? Look at it two ways. Do you think this is going to happen? And do you think this is the right move? Two ways. Nick.
I'll start. I'm buying this. In Todd McShay's mock draft, the first 4 picks in the draft were all quarterbacks. So the first 4 picks, boom, 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 boom. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trey Lance. So I like the 49ers trading up for Mac Jones because this is the offseason where you have to find a long-term solution at quarterback. And we'll talk about that more later on. But absolutely, I'm buying this. Mac Jones is a perfect fit for Kyle Shanahan's offense. I really, really like Mac Jones. I wrote about him 2 months ago, right after the national championship game. And at that time, I thought maybe he'd be selected in the bottom half of the first round so the 49ers could trade back, pick up draft capital, and then take Jones. But I'm high on him regardless. Even if you have to move up, having that quarterback on a rookie contract, 5 years worth of control is definitely the way the Niners got to go. I'm buying it.
I'm not as big on Mac Jones as everyone else here, but if he's the guy that Shanahan and John Lynch pick as their guy, I don't fault them for wanting to trade up to secure him. I know the 4 quarterbacks ahead of him were picked in this mock draft, so I get the need to get Mac Jones, but I still would rather go a different position and not trade up. Like you said, giving up a lot of assets, I think that's hard, but if he's their guy, go ahead and do it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to trade up from 12 to 9 for a quarterback. I mean, if they did, I was looking it up before he went on. That's 150 draft points in difference from 12 to 9. Not a lot. That's the 88th pick in the draft, not the 43rd. The Niners should not trade 12 and 43 to get Mac Jones. That's two assets for one player. If Mac Jones fell to 12, I think they would take him. If Mac Jones fell to 12 and they traded down 1 or 2 spots like they do, they traded down a spot for Javon Kinlaw, they traded down a spot for Solomon Thomas, I think they'd be cool with that. But trading up into the top 10 for a quarterback, I just don't have a life-size picture of Kyle Shanahan doing it. I think it's too much. I think he has too much scar tissue from the time that the Washington football team traded up for RG3. Obviously, it's different. But still, there is something that happens when you trade up for a quarterback. He becomes the most powerful person in the organization. And if he doesn't work out, it's the coach's fault, period. It's not like if you take a guy in round 3 or round 2 and he works out, the coach is a genius. And if he doesn't, there were no expectations. There are very, very high expectations. And you gave up multiple assets for that guy. It's not like you traded down, picked up an asset, and got Mac Jones. So one, I don't think it's in Kyle Shanahan's DNA to trade up in that part of the first round. It's rich. And I don't think they should. I don't like Mac Jones that much. To me, I like Mac Jones a lot. I see what everyone sees. He's a good player. I also like Kyle Trask, and I don't really see what makes Mac Jones better. I think Alabama's better. So if you could get Kyle Trask in round 2 rather than trade up to 9, that would be my take. Way to go. But I could be wrong. I just don't. I don't see this as realistic. What do you think?
To provide more context on my answer, this is the specific scenario laid out by Todd McShay. So will there be the first 4 quarterbacks gone after the first 4 picks? Who knows? But if that were the situation and Mac Jones is available, I have no problem jumping up from 12 to 9. And what it really cost. You looked at the draft chart, Grant, and I'm familiar with the point system and everything. Would it really cost a second round pick or a 2022 second round pick? Who knows? But Kellen Mond's
not even a 2002 20. No, absolutely not. It should be basically the comp pick and the 4th round pick. I mean, that's the comp pick is 88. Let's call it 90. The 4th round pick is 58. Let's call it 60. That's 150. That should be it. That should be it. Maybe you throw in like a 6th round pick as well. But basically the 3rd and the 4th plus the 1 should do it. But that is 3 assets.
Yeah, unless you're targeting a guy like Kellen Mond, in my mind space right now is the 49ers need to address quarterback in round one and find that long-term solution. That's kind of where my head's at. And after hearing Chris Sims talk about the top 6 quarterbacks and how loaded this class is, I just don't see how the 49ers can walk away from the first round without a long-term solution at the position.
I just feel like, and you're right, but Chris Sims said Jones is a great fit for the 49ers. He also said Mond is a great fit for the 49ers, and I see that because even though Mond is like a dual threat quarterback, he's actually very faithful to the design of the play. He's like Mac Jones. He wants to go through his progressions, and he does it pretty well, which makes him a good fit for the Niners. He's a good slant thrower, which makes him a good fit for the Niners. I could see the Niners, if let's say Mac Jones gets picked 8th by the Panthers, which is possible, I could see the Niners maybe not taking Mond at 12, but trading down for him and picking up assets and getting their quarterback in round 1. I'd be cool with that. Or I'd be cool with that. Or maybe they really like Kyle Trask in round 2 and that's their ace up their sleeve. Either way, I'd be surprised if they moved up for Mac Jones. I wouldn't crush them for it. At least they had some conviction and made a move and did something that they haven't done yet in 4 years. That would be kind of cool.